If you want to make money writing online in 2022 and you want to become a full-time freelance writer that is able to work from anywhere without a boss, I recommend that you get clients via LinkedIn versus freelance platforms or bidding sites like Upwork. And in this video, I'm going to share why. Now, disclaimer, there are so many ways to become a freelance writer, and there are some freelancers that have made it big using platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. So by no means am I saying my strategy is the only way, but by the end of the video, when I explain some reasons why and how I got into copywriting, despite having no experience, I think you're going to understand why I recommend LinkedIn as a strategy versus the Upworks or the freelance bidding platforms that are available out there. I'm Christine from paidcopywriter.com. I'm a former 9-to-5 salesperson that transitioned to copywriting after having no experience. No one had ever paid me to write anything. I just always wanted to become a writer. It was my dream. And by following YouTube videos, I figured it out. And my advantage of being a salesperson really helped me become a full-time freelancer in as little as 4 months because I understood the power of LinkedIn and how to send a cold pitch to get high-paying clients. In the past, when I had Googled these how to write from home articles, they always suggested platforms like Fiverr. And when I saw how much these jobs paid, I knew that it was not realistic for me because I needed to make a full-time income and support myself. I think the fact that Upwork and Fiverr are so popular is actually what deters writers and slows them down because realistically, it's not feasible to write for pennies and expect to make a full-time income. And that's where LinkedIn comes in. Again, no shade, but I actually see freelance marketplaces as something that denigrates this profession. I am not a product that you can browse on Amazon and click buy, so why would I put myself on a marketplace platform? Not to mention, it really puts the client in the driver's seat. They can go on, peruse, have all the freelance writers at their fingertips and just pluck one that looks the best to them. To me, it's not a proactive way to go about getting clients, and it's not something that puts the writer in control or empowers the writer. Full disclosure, my only experience using Upwork was actually on the hiring side of things. I don't have a profile on that platform. I actually was tasked with hiring writers using the platform, and the experience was as underwhelming as I thought it would be. Basically, I was working for a client who wanted me to build a team of writers and go source writers. Now, my best way of finding writers is typically on LinkedIn or even in Facebook groups. When I have a client who says, hey, Christine, go out and find us other writers like you, I know where to turn, and Upwork is never one of them. But for this specific client, they had an agreement with Upwork. They used the platform, so they gave me login information and said, go find writers. And the experience was just so underwhelming. It almost felt like this meat market of writers. I got bombarded with a million pitches. Nobody stood out. It didn't have a very intuitive interface. So that was just my experience being on the hiring end and trying to use Upwork to hire writers. So if that gives you any indication of what your clients are experiencing, it's just not a great look. Now, I know there's writers who do make a good income on Upwork or Fiverr. However, I think that's a small percentage of writers. These platforms are actually known for lowballing clients, for underpaying writers. And something that's the absolute deal breaker for me, even if these platforms did a complete turnaround and started to become amazing somehow, the fact that they are taking a percentage of what I earn is completely unacceptable. I want to keep all of the money that I'm being paid. I don't even pay wire fees, transfer fees, none of that. Anything that takes a cut of my money is a no-go. We already pay out the ass for our taxes. I'm not having anybody take a percentage of my income. That's just bottom line. What I teach in my online course is taking a smaller amount of clients on and getting a higher rate from each client so that you're not overworked. So going on a website like Upwork or another freelance bidding site is really antithetical to what I'm trying to teach in my approach. It's not going to be the right approach for everyone, but for people who do want to follow a similar trajectory that I had, where it's going from 0 to full-time freelance in as little as 4 months, you're not going to find those high-paying clients on Upwork most likely. Now, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should consider LinkedIn if you're trying to find high-paying freelance clients. The first reason is that you have a much higher likelihood of showing up in search results if your profile is properly optimized. So I talk about SEO writing, and the majority of work I do for my clients is blog writing, is doing SEO work so that these companies will show up on the first page of Google. That in itself is a full-time job. So for a writer to create their own website, try to market themselves, create a content strategy that helps them rank in the search engine is honestly a waste of time if you're trying to get this done quickly. I think it's a good long-term strategy. However, it's not necessary to land clients. my opinion is get on LinkedIn, where your profile has a much higher likelihood of showing up in search results for your ideal clients, and optimize your profile versus trying to build SEO power to your writer's website. So comment down below the word LinkedIn and let me know if you are ready to start landing high paying clients versus what has been available with writing for pennies and lowballing clients. Now, reason number 2 I love LinkedIn is that it's actually more powerful than cold emailing. Now, cold emailing is an amazing strategy. As a former salesperson, I made the majority of my money by booking meetings with prospects via cold emailing. Inbox is a really effective way to get in front of people. But what I love about LinkedIn is it actually gives you direct access to your ideal clients on that platform without having to know their email. And when they get a message from you on LinkedIn, it just feels much more personal because your photo shows up next to your message. With one click, they can see your profile and all of the information that's most pertinent for them to know in order to hire you. Whereas when you get an email, it's just a wall of text and it's not as compelling. Now, the third reason is that LinkedIn is just less saturated. Now, let's talk about saturation for a little bit, because most writers don't even want to take the leap into freelancing because there's this myth. You have to understand that that's not true. There's actually more businesses out there that need copywriters than there are copywriters that exist. So if you position yourself properly and you take those right fundamental steps in the beginning, there is no way that this field is saturated, and there's no way you should be letting market saturation hold you back. However, what is saturated and what will make you believe that this is saturated is going on Upwork and seeing how many freelance writers are on there bidding for the same jobs. Now, yes, there is hundreds of freelance writers on LinkedIn as well. However, they are not being alerted of the same jobs because the platform can be used in so many ways. They're not fighting for the same opportunities that you are. And time again, I get messages from clients thanking me for reaching out, and I can tell that they are not accustomed to getting cold pitches on that platform from writers. I also know that there's not a lot of writers taking advantage of LinkedIn because it's the whole reason that I started my course 30 Days to Paid. When I wanted to get into online course creation, which is really just the act of teaching something you know or something you've accomplished, I thought I was going to create a how-to course of just how to set yourself as a copywriter. Here's step 1, create a website. Here's step 2, here's how to create a portfolio. Now, while my online course does include all of those elements, what I wound up doing is making my course focused on how to cold pitch clients on LinkedIn, because so many writers are not using this strategy. It is such a competitive advantage if you can get on there, optimize your profile, and start cold pitching. Plus, clients are going to start reaching out to you. It's not just about sending cold pitches. They're actually actively searching for writers. And if you're showing up in those search results, you will get a message and book a call with them and land a high-paying freelance client without doing anything. So overall, I would never recommend Upwork for any freelance writer just because it is saturated. You can't command the highest rates, and they take a percentage of what you earn. I like LinkedIn because having your profile set up is a way to passively generate inbound leads, clients that are coming to you, requesting more information about your services. It's more of a passive way. And honestly, LinkedIn is much more personal. It's a social platform that really allows you to stand out and cut through the noise. If you want to learn more about how to become a full-time freelance writer, specifically using LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm putting out a new video every week helping writers. I get messages from you guys on Instagram all the time saying, I used your strategy and it worked. So if you have any wins, please message me. I love hearing from you, and I hope this video helps. Bye.